Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Lean Business Agility. Today from Johannesburg, South Africa with Joanne, Perold.
Hi Klaus.
Hi Joanne.
Hi Klaus. It's wonderful to be here.
Thanks for spending a couple of minutes with me and to talk about our topic today. Do you know the situation when you build a system and then the visualization tells you, oh my God, there are so many work items in there. What shall we do?
I know that very well, Klaus.
That's perfect. Could you please tell me what I can do if there's too much work in my system?
I can. I can't tell
Nice.
you the best answer. I can give you my answer for that. It happens often. The other day I was with the team and they visualized their system and they visualized all of the work in their system, and when it was all up, it was overwhelming and it was scary. And that's often the hardest place to be, because we know we need to limit our work items and we don't know how. And so they all sat there and they looked at what was going on, and I could kind of see the panic. You know, when the panic sets in.
Yeah, sure.
What do? We're thinking about our stakeholders, people we've made promises to, people that are expecting stuff from us. It's really hard. People are scared, they're nervous. So we had a little bit of discussion about, okay, well, how do we get from here to a better place? And one of the things that I thought could be a good idea is to have a look at all of the things that are in that system that nobody's going to care about for the next month. How can we park those? So often you want to get to the point where, as you said, you want to get those out of the system, and that's often very nerve-wracking, and so people don't always want to do that as a starting point. But it's a good idea to park that, at least temporarily, so that you can get to a point where it's not so overwhelming.
Okay, so you mean when you say parking, you build some kind of swim lane or parking area on the wall, and you park the items in this area, and they are not out of the system, right? So they are still in the system.
Exactly. Yes. So they're still in the system, so we still have visibility of them, so they're not getting lost, and that we can create a parking lot for them where at some point we can move them back into whatever the flow is that we're working on.
Okay, so now we have a lot of items in the parking lot. Fair enough.
many.
Yes. So, but still, this doesn't solve the problem, right? So they are
No.
parked now. What shall
Exactly.
we do?
So the next thing that I recommend is that to have a look at understanding what is the value of the items that are currently on the board at a high level.
Makes sense.
Yeah, there's a transaction cost to that often. So you want to balance your transaction cost with your value add. And also you want to focus on the things that will realize and get that value first, right? So what's closest to being done?
Okay, so this means it's not about working all this value stuff. It's more about finishing value, bringing it in. Is it like this?
Exactly. So it's about understanding what the value is, so we can help prioritize which are more important than others.
Yeah.
That's the first step. And then the second step is to understand how we can bring the value in as quickly as possible. So the realization of that value. What's closest to being done? Because if we start with the latest new idea that someone is shouting about, then we're actually just adding more work into an already overloaded system, right?
Yeah, sure. Which makes sense. So we are parking some work, then we try to finish work, and while we are doing this, what we are doing is we are basically closing the inflow, right?
Exactly.
So there's nothing coming into the system.
Exactly, yes. And that sometimes is the hardest part. And the interesting part is that the more that you start to finish things, the more trust you build up. And the more trust you build up with the business, the more that they're going to allow you to close that inflow until you have a point where you are ready to start taking on new work again.
Makes sense.
Yes. And the other interesting thing is that a lot of the things in the parking lot can potentially go in the rubbish bin.
Okay, cool. So if we summarize this, what do our viewers need to do when they are in a system which is over flooded with work?
My summary for that would be to first park it then focus on shipping it, then focus on building trust while you ship it, close the inflow, build more trust. When you're ready, open the inflow.
That's a perfect summary.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jo, for your time. And yeah, hope to see you again soon in one of our videos here.
Thanks very much for having me, and I hope to see you all again soon in one of our videos.
Cool. Cheers from South Africa.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.